Welcome back everyone to Game of the Week, a series where each week I'll be taking a niche and unpopular Roblox game and reviewing it. And if I miss a single day of uploading, the series will end. As always, the link for every game I play will be down in the description below, so if you want to go check the games out, all you gotta do is scroll down and click the first link you see in the description. But without any further dilly-dallying, this Game of the Week is... Garden Horizons. Now, when I first found out about Garden Horizons, I was never actually expecting myself to make a video about it. And the reason for that is because the game is meant to be kinda like Grow a Garden. If Grow a Garden was never bought out by Doobig and if it was never like completely fucking ruined and mutilated beyond all fucking recognition, basically. However, the truth is that I never really liked Grow a Garden in the first place, right? I mean, on its release, I guess it was like kinda cool. I mean, the Hungry Plant event or whatever it was called was kinda cool, where you had to like feed a Venus flytrap like a bunch of different items at once, and then it would shit out a seed pack, and then you would like have a chance to get that plant for yourself, and that was all kinda cool. But I mean, it was like the prototype to all of those shitty retro slop fucking stud games that have like studs everywhere, and they're like horribly fucking oversaturated, and they suck, and then they're horrible, and then whatever else, you know. So I never really liked the game. And it was kind of fun at the start, but then when Doobig Games bought it, that was like kind of like the final nail in the coffin for me. And after the fucking Night Owl events, or whatever it was called, I just kind of like stopped playing the game entirely. And so because of that, I never really thought I was gonna like Garden Horizons either, so I never really played it. I never wanted to play it either, until recently at least. Because when the game came out, I decided to at least give it a try, you know? And I started playing it, and goddamn, I'd be capping if I said that I didn't fucking like the game, because I fucking love the game, man. I actually really enjoyed my time in Garden Horizons when it first came out, and I'm still playing it to this day. I'm saying it to this day like it came out years ago, when in reality it came out like 2 days ago. But I mean, I'm still playing the game, right? Even after that initial like little period where I was playing it during its release, I'm still playing the game. And it's really fun, man. I don't know, I actually kind of like got nostalgic for Grow a Garden, like goddamn, like, you know, I said I said I never really truly liked it, but like, we kind of had it good, man. Like, we kind of had it good during the early days of Grow a Garden, you know? We kind of had it good with the Angry Plant event and the Night Owl event and all those like early events that happened before Doobig took over everything and started like completely ruining the game. Like, we kind of had it good, and it was actually kind of fun. And Garden Horizons kind of captures that fun, you know, and I know, it's a great game, dude. I enjoy playing it. What can I say? I mean, first of all, the thing I like about Garden Horizons, and that I don't like about Grow a Garden in contrast, is that Grow a Garden is really pay to win. We all know it. You can pay for rainbow seeds, you can pay for like plant mutations, you can like buy currency and like certain rare tokens and whatever during events. You can like buy gears, you can buy this, you can buy that. There's like a forever pack. There's a ton of different things you can buy in the game, and it kind of, I mean, at the start it was kind of like reasonable, because again, during like the Hungry Plant event, which I keep going back to, during the Hungry Plant event, you could actually get the seed packets for that event for absolutely free, and it was actually relatively easy to get them. So there wasn't really like a super huge need to go out of your way to spend Robux to try to get these seed packets for the Angry Plants with real money. And that's kind of like what Garden Horizons reminds me of these days, because eventually Grow a Garden, when it got bought out by Doobig Games, events got grindier and grindier and grindier, and just less rewarding and less rewarding and less rewarding. And eventually, pretty much the only way to like get anything even remotely rare or valuable was to actually spend Robux and stuff. which kind of sucked, let's be real. But in Garden Horizons, it's much more like the early days of Grow a Garden, you know? Where, like, the option of buying the limited time fucking packs and whatever for Robux is still there. Because obviously the developers have to make money in some way, right? So they do have, like, some game passes, but it's not nearly as egregious as it is in Grow a Garden. Because the only game passes, there are really two game passes that exist in Garden Horizons. The first game pass is the seed packets. You can instead of like trying to grind out quests for seed packets, you can just buy seed packets straight from the shop. Just for plain old money, plain old Robux. You know, you can just straight up buy them. And other than that, the only other game pass that there is being able to buy seeds that are out of stock for Robux. And that's pretty much it. There is nothing else you can really spend money on, or you know, whatever else. There's nothing else that you can really buy for Robux in the game. I mean, there's no like forever packs. There's no like fucking pet crates. There's no rainbow seeds. There's no like special gears. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that you can spend money on in Garden Horizons to like pay to win. Which is pretty cool. I like that the game is really friendly towards free-to-play players. And I mean, obviously, like, if you spend a lot of Robux on it, on the game, you can have, like, all the endgame seeds immediately, right? But, like, it's not horrendously difficult to get these seeds, these super rare seeds in the game as a free-to-play player. Like, for example, and speaking of seeds, actually, another thing that I really don't like about Grow Garden, that it started doing more and more and more as it started falling off, is that it kept introducing rarer and rarer and rarer seeds into the game, right? Like, at first, I think the highest rarity of seeds that we had in the game was, like, mythical or a legendary or something like that. And then we got, like, prismatic, and we got divine, and then we got whatever comes after divine. And at one point it got so ridiculous with these rarities that I remember that there was this huge drama with Grow a Garden where they had like a Halloween event or something, and they had like a special seed in the shop, and it was like the rarest fucking seed in the whole entire game, and it was so rare that it actually never came on stock a single time during the whole entire event, and the only way to get it was to spend Robux on it. Which, I mean, I didn't really need to say this, but all this fucking rarity inflation and whatnot just made the game increasingly less free-to-play friendly, you know? It became increasingly less friendly towards free-to-play players. You could not play the game and make a reasonable amount of money without spending fucking Robux on seeds and on the game and on whatever else, you know. Meanwhile, in Garden Horizons, all the rarities of pretty much all the seeds are pretty fair, I would say. Like, right now, I have, like, every single seed from the normal shop inside of my garden, right? I got the apple seeds, I got the cherry seeds, I got lettuces, I think the maximum rarity in the game right now is legendary, and I got all the legendary seeds, so, like, you know, it's pretty reasonable in Garden Horizons to be a free-to-play player and to try to get, like, all the rare stuff that there is in the game, you know? I mean, again, like I said, I'm a free-to-play player. I have not spent a single cent in this game yet. I might in the future, but for right now, you know, I haven't spent a single cent in the game, and I have most of the things in the game, you know? I mean, obviously, I still need to, like, grind out those quests and those, like, premium packets and whatnot and get the seeds from that. But other than that, I have everything from the regular shop. But anyways, so far in this video, we went over Garden Horizons and Grow a Garden and how Garden Horizons is much more friendly towards new players and free-to-play players and all that stuff. And how it's not like as crazy or as oversaturated or as fucking nausea-inducing as Grow a Garden is and all that stuff. But I actually kinda wanna talk a little bit more about Garden Horizon specifically, and I wanna talk about how they can avoid falling into the same trap as Grow a Garden, right? Because it's not only like bad updates and stuff that ruin Grow a Garden, right? It was a lot more than that. So I kind of want to like talk about the future of Garden Horizons in this video a little bit as well, and talk about like how the developers of Garden Horizons can avoid meeting the same fate as Grow a Garden and all that stuff. So let's get right into it. So let's first talk about the economy of Grow a Garden and Garden Horizons. As you guys may know, if you played Grow a Garden for longer than I did, you would know that a part of the reason why Grow a Garden kind of fell apart is because of its economy. In Grow a Garden, originally in the early days, like having $1 billion is like the most money you could ever hope to achieve, right? It was like the magnum opus of richness, right? Like once you reached $1 billion, you know, you were set for life. There was, you pretty much beat the game. Is what I'm trying to say. You pretty much beat the game. These days, though, if someone caught you with a fucking billion measly dollars in your pockets, they would fucking like rip your pants off and like shove your head into the nearest toilet and give you a fucking swirly, right? And that's because the economy of Grow a Garden has pretty much been completely ruined. Because in Grow a Garden, in the early days, whenever the developers of the game would release a new seed, they would always have to make it better than the last seed. They would always have to outdo themselves, right? Like, for example, when the Beanstalk released, it had to be a new rarity. It had to give like 500 million times more money than any other plant. It had to be this, it had to be that. It had to be regrowable. It had to be fucking rainbow. There had to be like new mutations, new weather events, this and that. And that kept happening over and over and over again every time a new seed got added to the game. Because every seed that got added into the normal shop had to be like 5 million times better than the last seed, right? It had to give you like 5 trillion times more money than the last seed, right? And that kind of eventually got out of hand because eventually people started like easily, like without breaking a fucking sweat. People started making trillions and trillions, not even trillions, sometimes quadrillions or quintillions of dollars, right? People started making like absolutely ludicrous amounts of money. Like the norm these days is to have fucking quintillions of dollars on you at all times, right? And that's kind of a bad thing because like, I don't know how much the most expensive seeds in the game cost these days, but last time I checked, there were like a couple $1 billion. Which might as well be fucking free in this economy, right? Like there was nothing really to grind to anymore in Grow a Garden, right? Like there's nothing you felt the need to like save money for, and like money basically lost all its meaning. And then the developers had to like scramble to make like currencies you can buy for like quadrillions and quadrillions and quadrillions of dollars. And it just became a fucking mess, right? And like money lost all its meaning, and there was nothing to grind for in the game, and like people started leaving, and it was horrible. It was a mess, right? And so because of that, I kind of wanted the developers of this game to take into account how much money a certain plant makes when they release it, or like what rarity it is, or like all that stuff, right? Because I don't want the developers of this game to also end up like Grow a Garden. And I don't want them to like keep one-upping themselves every single time they make a new plant, right? Because if they do that, then obviously the money in this game is also going to lose all its value and become meaningless and shit. And that's just not fun, right? Like, for example, right now, and I think the game is balanced pretty well, where the grind to even get enough money to get a cherry tree, for example, is pretty reasonable. And pretty fun to go through, right? It's not like a super boring slog or anything, in my opinion, and it's a real balance pretty well. And I kind of want the rest of the new seeds that come out in the game to kind of be like that, right? So I'm I'm just hoping for this game to not end up like Grow Garden in terms of economy, at least, right? Where money just completely loses all its meaning. And while we're talking about developers one-upping themselves, actually, I kind of want to get into the event issue with Grow a Garden as well. If you guys know anything about Grow a Garden, you know that it was really, really, really popular for its nearly weekly events that it hosted, right? Like it had a completely new event, like I think every 2 weeks. Or something ridiculous like that. Like it was absolutely insane. Like there was always something like completely new and completely insane to do, right? And these events like kept getting more insane and more insane and more insane, and developers kept one-upping themselves over and over and over again, and eventually got so insane that there was basically no fucking way that you can make an event in a singular week and like push it out to the players and have it be good. But the developers kept doing it, they kept being on this weekly grind of like making a new event every week and putting out a new event every week and then giving people new fruit every week and new updates every week, and it just got absolutely insane, right? There was like way too much stuff to develop and only so little time to do it. Like only a week. Like that's absolutely an insane time crunch. And it was like a perpetual time crunch. It was like a fucking infinite time crunch because they just like that was what the whole game was, right? The whole game was just weekly updates, and they had to release weekly updates or the game would fucking die. And eventually the developers pretty much just ran out of ideas and just couldn't keep up anymore. And that's how we got that fucking ugly ass, like fucking Foursquare, fucking flower field fucking event that happened like, I don't know, like a month ago or something. When the game was already like well into its fucking grave. But yeah, I know that I think that these developers, I heard somewhere that they also want to do events and they also want to do like admin abuse and all that stuff, you know. The developers of Garden Horizons also want to do all that stuff. And I think by me, that's fine. You know, if they want to do that, that's completely fine. But I also don't really want them to like rush out events and like try to be like you try to make like events that are like super fucking insane, better than the last event and whatnot. You know, I don't want them to end up like Rebel Garden in that aspect as well. I mean, my personal suggestion is that if you want to be a game that like constantly pumps out events and has like really, like new events every so often, you know, and you want to constantly keep your players engaged. If you want to be a game like that, honestly, the bare minimum amount of time that an event should last is a month, right? Like, keep it in the game for at least a month. Even if it's not a super grindy event and doesn't need you to play like every single day, you know, day in and day out. Just keep it in the game for at least a month. And then take a month of a break and then come back with the next event. And keep repeating that cycle, right? Like, give yourself enough time to actually make a decent event and, you know, not rush anything and not fall in the same trap that Grow Garden did and all that stuff, you know. But anyways, other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say about Garden Horizons here. I think it's a pretty good game. I really enjoyed playing it recently. I think it was super fun, honestly. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually kind of got nostalgic for the old days of Grow Garden. And this game kind of satiated that nostalgia, for lack of a better word. And yeah, it's just really fun. If you guys have played Grow Garden, if you missed Grow Garden, then go play this game as well. Link is down in the description below. And that's pretty much all I have to say. That's enough yapping. See you later, everyone, and goodbye.